One of the most jarring aspects of playing a game is the reload sequence. Through its nature, this form of entertainment requires a certain level of investment from its consumers, more specifically, that they actively take part and immerse themselves in the world set before them. When it reaches its peak, this creates a feeling of flow, of continuity. It's what makes us lose track of time and become oblivious to our surroundings when playing. However, this flow can be broken when users are faced with a reload on a game over screen that only serves to add insult to injury. Since this has not changed a lot since the beginnings of the industry, one might consider it a necessary evil. The question this feature seeks to answer is whether we can find a way around it, while presenting some practical examples used in popular games over the years. I feel that this issue needs addressing sooner rather than later, because reloading a game is sensible when we are resuming our gaming sessions. Having to redo something we have already done only seconds before isn't pleasant, and, of course, this approach encourages players to take the brute force approach by trying everything until they find one that works. Blizzard's Diablo 2 is one of the first games to come to mind, since its developers took a special interest in creating a flow-based experience. Since it has a pretty straightforward quest system and combat-based gameplay, they chose to remove the traditional save function. This means that certain features became feasible. Gambling, random recipes, odd jobs. It also meant that player characters could not just die, with the exception of hardcore mode, Diablo 2 solution. However, to retain the challenge factor, a certain penalty had to be applied on death, big enough to encourage people to avoid it, but small enough not to be synonymous with game over. Blizzard's answer to this problem was an experience and guild penalty, along with the responding tone mechanic. Basically, the game punishes players in a way that sets them back, but does not force them to redo anything. The jarring effect of loss is still present in Diablo 2, but to a much lesser degree. Fate or Torchlight reduces this even further by giving players the option of reviving in the same area, or in the very spot where their character has met his arc, and, of course, each option has a steeper price. Another example can be seen in shooters games, such as a real tournament. The player's goal is to reach a certain number of kills before the others do the classical deathmatch scenario solution. The death penalty is deceptively simple when a participant dies. His archer opponent is one step closer to victory. The fast-paced action coupled with the immediate respawning ensures that the experience is very dynamic, but also smooth. The jarring is virtually non-existent because failure, death, constitutes the basis of the gameplay. In fact, it depends on it, and it's what drives it forward. The popularity of the genre, if nothing else, is proof enough that streamlining player experience is something worth doing. Crystal Dynamics took another approach to overcoming death in its 1999 title, Soul River, by allowing Rizzo, the main character, to traverse between two realms, a physical one and a spectral one. Solution: Rizzo feeds on the souls of his enemies, and it is these souls that serve as his life force. When defeated in the physical realm, the character is transported to the spectral one. If he is defeated there as well, he is taken back to a special hub, from where he can make his way back to the place of his demise. There is a small nuisance in that the return to the physical realm requires a portal to be used, and this introduces a certain amount of backtracking. However, this spirit realm approach has proven popular and has been used several times. In some more recent example being Venetica, developed by DEC 13 Interactive. A possible alternative to this method could involve sinking the player character deeper and deeper into successive spirit worlds with every death. The avatar could either become stronger with every descent, or the enemies weaker. Return could be immediate or sequential through the same layers. It could depend on the opponents being dead, or some in-game currency, such as experience or a soul pool. Game design is the most important part of every game. Whether it's a simple runner or a title of a Dragon Age scale, every specialist in every industry needs professional tools to do his job right. There are special ideas for developers, professional software, i.e. Adobe, Autodesk, for artists. But there are no specific tools for game design. So, video game designers always had to use different workarounds to do their job. The main challenge is that assets, called game design, of any given project, are never kept in one document, because these are quite different. For example, dialogues must have a diagram-like layout to keep them organized. A game library database requires more structured storage. Characters data additionally require image storage. Level maps should also have some visuals, etc. So what can we do? How do we track possible variations and flows of nonlinear dialogues throughout the entire game? Well, some specialists use thousands of stickers. Others build VCO-like flowcharts. Big companies build their custom-developed set of tools to handle specific project needs, something that indie studios usually cannot afford and actually do not need. In order to achieve consistency in design and create visually appealing games, the information that is generated by game designers should be. Tools that are shown in this category do not require a lot of coding knowledge. Most of them are made to provide the simplest developing experience to anyone. Still, there are pitfalls to consider. These tools are not so easy as they look at first sight. While they are suitable for small and common games, it's quite difficult to create a unique project without any comprehension. Let's see what our software options are. When we started looking for suitable game design tools, mind maps were our first choice, and we quickly ditched the idea, because only after 3 hours into a project, mind map started to look like this. Right now, our current project, named Rise of Colonies, has a game database of 60 MB in size, and it mostly consists of text data. That's really a lot of text. I am even afraid to think what a mind map of that size would look like. And additionally, should his software, desktop software choices are quite limited. So we found FreeMind to be the one with the most feasible export features. But the issue with that software is that for really big mind maps it soon starts glitching. So it is not suitable for professional use, as you are battling with the software, not with the project. It could be used to track smaller mind maps, i.e. menu layout. Though, we see that game studios use different wiki systems, i.e. Atlassian Confluence, Mediumski, etc. quite frequently. Generally, it's a good choice to keep all the information structured and well-maintained. However, it cannot be reused in-game by copy-paste means. Additionally, it is not suitable for character dialogues at all. When we just started considering different dialogue handlers out there, we looked through available Unity plugins on the asset store and found no suitable assets that could meet our project's needs. Software like Twinary, also did not work for us, because it is designed for a specific usage. Twinary is more for creating standalone interactive stories. It is not customizable with extra properties and entire game. structure cannot be maintained in it, while yet is more like a graph builder application, much like Microsoft Visio. It is also not really suited for all game design tasks. Finally, we have discovered Scene Draft, the visual environment solution that Win D previously overlooked, mainly due to its aggressive advertising as the golden hammer, a silver bullet. At least that was the initial impression we gained from its promo website. However,